Carole Kariuki, and I'm a bamboo entrepreneur. I've been running Greenpot for the last 6 years, since 2014, as the chief executive and co-founder. My history dates back. I've been a banker for more than 20 years and a social entrepreneur for the last 15 years. Firstly in the mortgage sector, and then now totally committed to bamboo.
So if I might ask, based on whatever you have said, why did you choose to engage in bamboo?
You know, actually bamboo happened on us. They talk about the story where bamboo grows on you, and before you know it, it's running in your veins. Our chairman, he's called Mr. Mundia, has young adult children, and these kids were not saving. So when they got their first jobs, he then encouraged them to have delayed gratification by planting a forest with him. And in that way, as a family, they could then get a lot more money after 10 years. And that time everybody was growing eucalyptus for KPLC. So then he realized that so many people would want to do good and make money at the same time. So that's how Greenpot was born. So we started then buying large tracts of land and subdividing them as an investment opportunity. And it was so interesting because in the first 3 months, we sold 64 acres of bamboo forest. And it was shocking because, you know, how is it possible that people want to do that kind of investment? Everybody needs to diversify their investments. People wanted to secure their retirement. People wanted to get, you know, to pay their kids' college fees or high school fees. And that's how Greenpot grew. But from the very beginning, we were very clear that we wanted to do this differently. I've grown up in a family where I was educated in Alliance Girls using the money from coffee. And today my mother has uprooted that coffee because it no longer makes financial sense. So from the beginning, we were very, very keen to make sure that we can see the whole value chain through, to ensure that we're growing the right seedlings. So we started Greenpot Nurseries to make sure that we have the right quality of seedlings to do the right quality of products at the end. So even as we were growing the plantations under the gated community of forest concept, we were very clear that we wanted to do 4 products. The first one being wood products, and that's, you know, anything from the bamboo flooring to bamboo sticks to, you know, to bamboo, furniture. And then the second product we were very keen to do was energy. We actually have a offtake agreement from KTDA to work with them to ensure that then they're using less of forests which they currently use to more sustainable solutions in terms of forest, you know, bamboo forests. We then wanted to do more funky products, and we want to do bamboo paper, which is antibacterial by nature, and then we also want to do bamboo textile. Bamboo textile is thermodynamic. So when you wear something in the cold weather like now, then it keeps you warm. If it's in the warm weather, like we had earlier today, it keeps you cool. So all those funky products, I think bamboo really appealed to me and helped me transition from being a hardcore banker to then somebody who really wanted to do social good, good for the environment, and at the same time create really high quality products.
Thank you so much. So from whatever I'm picking is in terms of engagement of bamboo is really accepted, and it is something that is a product that every single person can use based on different industries. So maybe I will ask, according to you and according to your engagements with bamboo, how can you say is the adoption process of bamboo, especially when we are talking about now Kenya?
I think the key to success in bamboo industry in Kenya is premised on starting with the end in mind. The minute we commercialize and people begin to get a return on their investment, there will be no stopping bamboo. It perhaps will be the biggest income earner for Kenya. I want to give you an example of the city called Anji in China, which 65% of the GDP of that state, that little town, it's small by Chinese standards, 7 million people, 65% of them rely on bamboo as a source of income. All the way from, growing the seedlings, to the plantations, to the industrial. They have over thousands of products, related to bamboo. So there can never be too much bamboo. And then even going to the tertiary industry, which is tourism. They receive 10 million tourists a year coming to see their bamboo forests. So can you just picture that amplified for Kenya, what that would mean for our economy? So it's an amazing, amazing product, and there cannot be too much bamboo. Kenyans have suffered a lot from really poor quality investments, and therefore they're very pessimistic in terms of something that is new, with no proven market in Kenya, not in the world, in Kenya. And so you find that people are impatient to reap the returns. 5 years is not a short time to wait for a product. So it's also important for us to understand that the adoption will happen, especially once we have an industry going, where a farmer can get a direct offtake. Just look at the example of avocados. Everybody is dying to plant avocados because it has money. Yeah? That's what farmers want. Farmers want an offtake for their product. So in all our engagements in terms of our outgrowers, we do give them an offtake agreement. And now as we get closer to the 5th year, when the first bamboo was planted, we are very committed to ensuring that we have an industry, however small, before the end of this year. And that will then just cause an explosion. By July, not by July, actually by the next long rains, which is in April, you'll be surprised that there will be no bamboo seedlings available. People will be making a booking for 2 years in advance, because once farmers have the confidence that their products will be bought, and for a good price, and that's the other thing we must make sure, and guard this industry jealously, that we don't compete and bring down the price for the farmer, so that the industry makes so much money. So everybody must make money in the value chain, and that's going to be the game changer when it comes to bamboo. In terms of industries, the bamboo industries in Kenya are competing with global industries. We are competing with Chinese products, we're competing with Vietnam products, Indian products. We must make sure that our products are competitive, but at the same time of the highest quality. And that's something that Greenpot will not compromise on. We must have the highest quality products that can fit in any market. The American market is beginning to open for Kenyan products. But more importantly, as we have seen in the tourism sector, we must believe in Kenya first. We must make sure that all our government products are not imported from other countries. We go for the local products because we have better products, if not, world-class products. And let's also, the government also support us in that. We talk about 40% local, let's go for 40% local. If we want to make bamboo pens, let us, by choice, buy bamboo Kenyan pens. If we want to buy, bamboo straws, if we want to buy bamboo cooking rods, if we want to buy bamboo, anything, let it be Kenyan. And as we bring in our Kenyan products, let the market also be proudly Kenyan. That's the only way we can then succeed. We must have a strong home base before we go regional and international. Greenpot has been growing its seedlings in Narok and Nyeri, so we have 2 large-scale nurseries. And the reason we have decided to centralize our nurseries is to make sure that we can control quality. So when you have Greenpot quality products, if you want us to be Greenpot has by choice decided to centralize its nurseries in the regions where it works. So we have a large-scale nursery in Narok that serves the whole of the Rift Valley, both the South Rift and North Rift. So if you're in that region, then you can talk to us in Narok. And one of our directors is actually based out in Narok. And for the central region, central Kenya, which is also a very good area for bamboo, we have a large-scale nursery in Nyeri. But of course, our head office is in Nairobi. And the reason it's here is because we want to coordinate things from this place. Our first factory will be in Kikuyu, so that then we can serve a larger market base, both from Narok as well as from central Kenya, where we've been growing bamboo with the farmers, and also from our own plantations. So the first factory, which is starting before the end of this year, will be in Kikuyu. You'll have my contact on the screen, so you can then contact us, and also my partner Kuki Njeru, who is based in Narok.
Thank you so much. For me, I think I've gotten all the Thank you.
I want to talk about something else. Bamboo is very, very important for restoring the quality of water, as well as increasing the quantity of our water. We've been working with an organization called the Mara Water Resource Users Association out in Bomet County. So the Mara River borders Bomet County and Narok County. And one of the things that we've really worked on is in the restoration economy. And the restoration economy is about restoring, the quality of the water and the quantity of the water that goes all the way to the Masai Mara, which covers 45% of our wildlife. Over the last 10, 15 years, the farmers have increasingly farmed along the riparian areas. And this has then degraded the landscapes around there, caused erosion, and also reduced the quality of the water that goes to the Lake Victoria. And working with the Mara Water Resource Users Association, we've been able to start a pilot, and the pilot is for 80 acres that we've planted with the farmers, and the idea is to scale this up to 5,000 acres for all the farmers along the riparian area, so that we give them an off-take for the bamboo that they plant, and then they stop growing crops all the way to the river. And this can be replicated all through this country. We've also been talking to Rotary and UNEP to ensure, and also the ministry can play a big role in this, in terms of all this, the whole idea of uprooting the eucalyptus trees that are drying our rivers and planting bamboo along the riparian areas. In exchange for that commitment to plant the bamboo, we will then ensure that those farmers get a return on their investments. Instead of planting things like doma, arrowroots and other crops which may not be able to hold the soil, then you have bamboo there. The other thing that will also ensure that we pursue aggressively is carbon credits. Bamboo sequesters 35% more carbon than any other forest. So if our farmers can get the carbon credits for the bamboo that they grow, then it will be cheaper for them to grow an acre of bamboo. An acre of bamboo today will cost you about 200,000 shillings up to maturity for the first 5 years. Once it matures, from the 5th year onwards, the farmer will be getting a return of up to 400,000 shillings per acre. I don't think that any other cash crop in Kenya will give you that kind of return. So if bamboo can compete with coffee or tea or sugarcane, then it then makes financial sense for the farmers to make that choice to grow bamboo, especially as we grow our industries. Can you imagine if every government desk was made from bamboo? Imagine if all the 40 million Kenyans wore bamboo shirts. I mean, really? We can just transform our economy overnight using bamboo and save our rivers and also create wealth in a scale that has never been seen before.
Can continue.
See, it's done. No, I'm done. I was just telling you, whether you're tipping or not, I think bamboo will be one of the biggest transformations of our time. So as I sit here, let people not get impatient. The money will come. But we start from a social objective. We start from a place where we're trying to save our country. We're trying to create 1 acre of bamboo will create 5 jobs through the value chain. So whether you're a transporter, whether you're a manufacturer, whether you're a grower, whether you're a person who does nurseries, everybody will make money. It is not the intention of Greenpot to dominate this market, but we would love to work with everybody else so that we don't have everybody making toothpicks, but we then scale out to the 1,000 products. And when we get to 1,000, we shall create another 1,000 products from bamboo. That's the only way. That's why I call it cooperating to compete. Our market is global. So we must make sure that as a Kenyan force, as we look forward to this Bamboo Day, that we're not looking at as each other as competitors, because we haven't even scratched the surface. Today, because of the challenges we've had as a country, we don't even have one industry. Maybe all of us in the bamboo sector should pull together, we put money. Let's not wait for Serikali's idea or foreign investors. Let us put the little that we have together and start creating the industries. We have the framework to do it, and let's just do this. Whether it's private sector leading, the private sector must lead the initiative. It cannot just be government, but we need government support. We need government to be proudly standing with us and opening the doors for us as we move along so that the whole sector can grow. We will create wealth for this country and for many, many Kenyans. We have the capacity. If we grew 100,000 acres of bamboo in Kenya, it means that we can create 500,000 jobs for our people in the next 10 years. Surely this is it's a sector that cannot be ignored. I think